Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
I see some new faces, so I'm assuming I got some battle buddies on board here today or this evening. So good. It's going to be a good meeting today, and I'm excited about what's about to transpire here. Got some exciting news. Let me turn this light a little off. My looks like it's directly on me. There we go. I hate this back and forth, Jade, where it cuts my head off. I got to scoot back a little bit. Um, a couple of, I know Jana was going to jump on this afternoon or this evening, and we got some of our listeners, panelists coming on in about 30 minutes. So I wanted to go through a couple of things before we got them on board. But let's see who we have on. So I got Clifford. Clifford's going to take some notes. We're going to hear that. Marsha, see yourself and Olivia. Rhonda, thank you guys for jumping on. So the only other person is Jana. Let me just see if she's bringing her team on, and then we'll just get started. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good day?
yes, it's been beautiful here in LA.
Hello. You guys can hear me, right? Say what's happening in LA?
It's just been beautiful. The weather's been great. It's spring is here. So
Okay. Good evening. Is it Naomi?
yes, Naomi.
Naomi. And which team are you, or who are you here with?
I'm with Olivia and Peace.
Okay, great. And then Marsha, did you or Rhonda have any of your team members jumping on today? Did they have the link?
No, not today.
Okay. Rhonda? I think Rhonda's always mobile.
I'm here. I'm at home now today, but I do not have anyone on, and I'm so mad that I don't. I never mind. I don't.
Hey, we are going to make this work for those of us that are committed to making it work. So I think we're going to tackle this day with optimism and knowing that we're all going to see it through to the end to make sure our priority passion projects can get to the next level. We call it vertical acceleration. So just note from Jana, she's gonna jump in like 20 minutes. So we're gonna get started. Try to keep this to a 45-minute session. Again, thank you guys for jumping on. Jay, you can go ahead and click to the next slide. What I just want to do quickly today is a little different agenda. So it's not our typical agenda because we're really focusing on how to move you guys to the funding stage. And so today we're really just focusing on a couple of things here. I'll do my mindset shift coaching, just to touch on some key things that I want us to be mindful of. Then I'm going to go right into your priority passion projects, doing the showcasing. Got some good announcements we'll make on that prior to your presentations, and then post from the panelists. And then we'll do some Q&A after each presentation, really just so everybody can get their feedback in regards to from the panel, as well as anyone on the call if you want to chime in on what's being heard or what's being presented. So that's the flow of the day. There's very little interaction today, you guys, outside of your presentation. So I'm going to make it quick. I want to get to the presentations. We're expecting 4. It looks like we might have 2 or 3, depending. Marsha, you and Rhonda, if you want to present independently without your team, it'll be up to you. And then we'll go from there. So the next slide, go ahead, Jade. I want to just make an announcement on the points. So what I had mentioned to other industry experts, the panel, was that, hey, everyone on our call would have gotten 20 points. They would have done some of the preliminary work that we needed to do to get to this point. I do have 2 concessions, well aware of this. So one, each of you were going to receive your fact sheet summary tools that with the scoring on it, and then you're going to select one. We have not been able to get your fact sheets to work independently. They're blending it all in together as if it's MHM and Associates looking for grants. So we're challenging that. So we're having our tech team try to separate that. But for right now, Jade, were you able to put the list together of the opportunities, and have they been able to receive that?
I did put the list together, and you will get an email from me in just a moment here.
Excellent, excellent. So that email is a combined list. Rhonda, Marcia, Olivia, and Clifford. I know you're going to listen to your notes of multiple opportunities that covers the cohort areas of focus. So it's not just specific to each of you should have received a text as well from Jade kind of showcasing or sharing this. So in that space, you will go through each one. And again, if it's Rhonda, if it's economic development, it's like, oh, great, that's in your space. But if it's something about environmental sustainability, you would pass on that opportunity. So try to just go through that list and select the one that you feel is aligned with your priority passion project. And then 2 things will either happen. One, if we have it figured out, we'll send you a link and then you can run it through the system yourselves and get your score and select. Or 2, Jade, if we don't have it resolved by Wednesday, whichever one you guys select, just notify Jade. And again, because the system is working for us as a company and not for you as individuals, you can just send it to her and let her run it through and give it back to you with your scoring and what your strengths and weaknesses are that you would need to address to go after that grant. And because the goal was, great, by the end of this class, and if you saw on the front slide, I did say this is 5 of 5 sessions we're culminating here, but I did have one more, because if we did want to come back with the selection and submittal of this grant, or the grant you're selecting this Wednesday, I'll be here to do that specifically on next Sunday, just to help people get their grants out the door, right? I want to help you get the grants out the door. So you won't be deemed for not having done that. So you'll get those 5 points anyway. You'll see the asterisk here at the bottom saying, even if you haven't selected and submitted and got your green light for that, we're gratuitously sending those points out to everyone. And then the other is submitting it, again, because we have not been effective in getting you that scoring to be able to address whatever barriers. We're giving you those gratuitous points as well. So really, what you see in green, you automatically get points for. Anything in black on the screen, you still need to make sure you've gotten it done, because 20 points are required as a prerequisite towards getting your SGI grant and or in standing in front of the panel today in recommending and them making a recommendation for your mini grant or for moving forward to the larger grant. I want to remind you guys, because I think it's really key that you're able to have your team on board. So thank you, as Naomi, for jumping on and being a part of this, because we talk about, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. And sometimes, and this is just us, we dig our heels in deep, and we find it difficult sometimes to tell someone to join us in moving forward. But we have to remember, if we want to go fast, yes, we can go alone. But if we want to go far, and that's our mission here, to go far and to go vertical fast, we have to go together. And even as an African proverb, we remind ourselves of this every first Saturday of every month at our executive meetings. It's also something I want you to be mindful of as we're doing this, and as you're moving your projects forward. Doing it together matters more than I can express right now. So kudos, Naomi, for jumping in and being a part of the team and helping Olivia go faster, further together. Next slide. So today, again, 3 objectives is vertical advancement. And I hope from reading in our portal, you understand vertical advancement means that we're no longer willing to be that entrepreneur that grows their business gradually over time. The vertical advancement is something we're doing to accelerate growth and to accelerate advancement through investment in people with great ideas and great concepts and innovation and technologies and programs versus so much the product or the program. Very different in our ways of looking at things, but we are obviously looking to shift the paradigm on how businesses grow. Next slide. So congratulations, vertical advancement happens today. You'll be able to see and hopefully understand why. Next slide. So this is my coach's corner. So one of the things I haven't harped on, and I think Rhonda may have shared this with you when we were in the same space a while back about how we're looking to identify systems that don't work for us. And we always talk about all the things that don't, the banking system, the lending system, the postal system. There's so many systems that haven't been designed to work for us. The policing system, the judicial system. You guys can throw some things in the chat if you have some in your mind that you can think of, systems that we're a part of, but that really weren't designed for us or are not working for us. The employment system. Anyway, so one of the things that SGI, which is one of our partners with MHM, Source Global Imagine, we created what's called the vertical integration system. So this is really a system for us, by us, where we can win at accessing grants and capital or contracts, federal contracts, without going into debt, without buying into the systems of interest and loans and shared ownership in my innovation, right? So there's all these systems we're saying, how do we help people step out of that and not snap back when things get difficult, tough, and somewhat challenging? And I want you guys to, I'm gonna share a quick story and then we're gonna go to just the one point I really want to make under vertical integration, 3 points. But remember, I read in a post, I think it was, where Apple was able to they bought they paid $1.9 billion, right, to buy PepsiCo. I'm serious. PepsiCo purchased the prebiotic soda brand Poppi for $1.9 billion, right? So I'm reading that and I'm thinking, isn't it amazing that some entity, some business has the capacity to buy something for $1.9 billion? And our mindset goes to, this is possible because of the stock market, right? We think, oh, great, you got 50 million people investing in one company, and then that company has billions of dollars, and they can do things like this. The other way to think about it, and I was just doing some thinking prior to our session here, is this is the business that we should be thinking about growing. It's not just a business, it's an industrialized way of looking at your opportunity, right? So when you're talking and we go into different funding opportunities, your mindset should shift from being the entrepreneur to being an industrialist. What does that mean? It means that you, entrepreneur, you innovator, you founder, you that's made these commitments to bring teams together and build networks, get on these calls every Sunday to figure out how to make sure you can accelerate your business growth. One of the things that you have committed to is to say, how do I make my business grow bigger, better, faster? And we're saying, hey, we can help you. Let us shift. Let us get you grants and federal contracts, but let us help you have a mindset shift of being an industrialist versus an entrepreneur. So when I read that article and I say, wow, they paid $1.9 billion to purchase a company that produces soda, I wonder, why aren't we a part of that system? And the answer, and I looked back at generational wealth, I looked at the head, like, who was this guy? Who's buying, who's over PepsiCo? Oh, this is so-and-so. And that name sounded familiar. And I looked at who their parent, what business they came from, their background, and it took me back. And it took me all the way back to the rail, Union Rail, which was one of the four businesses that the government gave grants to, land grants and dollar grants, to build the rails. Union Pacific, and I forget the other three, but Union Pacific was one. I said, huh. And this gentleman that just bought PepsiCo was a descendant of the family that was a part of the PepsiCo founders. There was four white men. And so, of course, the government gave them grants. They built the railroads. They built it on slave labor, unfortunately. And they became the wealth beneficiary, right? And then their generations, 4 generations later, buying PepsiCo for $1.9 billion. And so when we talk about this cohort, what we're saying is, what if we adopt that same mindset? Access grants, access capital, access land, do our development, and create that generational wealth narrative in the same way they did. Not going into debt, not paying tons of interest, loans, and revenue, not giving up ownership of their company, but in a way where the risk was assumed by the government. Current administration is doing that all with the democratization of the federal government. You're going to see a lot more of that. So our mindset today, as we commit to changing the 1%, is recognizing we can be that entity too. And I really mean that. We can be that entity too. And we're not often, understand this, I hope you guys write this down. We, as Black women, Black men, minorities, African Americans, whatever you want to call it, the underserved or sometimes marginalized populations, we're not under-resourced, right? We think that, right? I need more resources, and I say this all the time. Let me get you access to resources, but the resources are there. We can tap into industry experts all across the U.S. that can step in and change the trajectory of your business, our growth, access to capital, all day, every day. So we're not under-resourced. What we are is we are overly resourced, meaning people tap into us and they resource and they take us, our talent, our intellectual property, our innovation, our knowledge, and they use it for them. So we're overly resourced. We're consistently employed, right? We're consistently taken advantage of. We're consistently creating innovations that others get credit for. We're consistently building railroads that other people end up creating generational wealth from. So be mindful. The resources are there, which is so critical. And Naomi, you're going to get tired of me saying this, but it's so critical that you understand that it's about us working together to move our innovations forward as partners, as team members, as we call them solutions team. No, you don't work for me. I don't work for you. We're a team. Let's go do this, right? So with that mindset shift, you guys, we can transform how we move our businesses forward. Grants, federal contracts, and a mindset shift gives us access to everything we need to make this happen for us. If you guys resonate with what I'm saying, let me know in the chat, because I've said a lot and I want to make sure I'm hitting my point, is that we're not under-resourced. We just allow ourselves to be resourced for things that we're not able to benefit from. If you guys can resonate with that, let me know in the chat. Jay, go ahead and go to the next slide. Thanks, Olivia. Rhonda, let me know if you guys grasping this. Perfect. And so there's only 3 things that I need you to be mindful of under the vertical integration system. We understand we bought systems that don't work for us. We understand that we all have what I say is we've adopted the 3 C's, which is commitments, covenants, and consecrations to systems that don't work for. I'm committed to the banking system. I'm committed to the postal system. We're all committed to systems that don't work for us. We've made covenants with, connections and promises. Oh, I will do this forever, and buy the home that has you end up paying three times as much for. be an employee for until I retire. There's so many covenants and consecrations that we've made to these systems. So all I'm asking you to do is to recognize that we've made these commitments to be a part of these systems that don't work for us. And then I'm asking you to use and step into, which is what you're doing now by being part of this inner circle, which we don't share with everyone. So again, consider yourselves amazing, which you are, but also selected and chosen, which is one, the system gives you a product that's being democratized, which means what? That you have shared access and revenue benefits from our product that you're using that will go beyond what I will get into right now. But just understand the product that you're using and that you will also help us to get other users for is the pathway to keep others from having to snap back into those systems that don't work for us. It's our way of moving us forward outside of that mindset, and be able to have a shared equity platform to create that generational wealth I just described from the railroads. The second is the E3P3 fund. So part of the product use, part of the fact that we're consistently, our firm 28 years or 20, almost 30 years, doing grant writing. We'll be building our fund with those grants and contracts for this model, for advancing innovation of small businesses and nonprofit organizations in a vertical integrated kind of way, right? So the fund will be further developed to sustain your growth, to sustain your vertical growth, not that slow 20-year, oh, I made it type of narrative, but a vertical accelerated growth for those that are in the inner circle with our fund. And then we have the data analytics public-private partnership that advances innovation, integration, and infrastructure engineers, and so using engineers. And so this basically is your front office. So we have, when we talked last week, we talked about having solutions teams with all these different experts. So this center, I would call it, we call it an Exceliport, but this center is how we bring all those partners together in coordination with NRDC. So your DEPI or DEPI, whatever we're going to end up calling it, your E3P3 fund, and your product are things you will now use going forward. Yes, you have your tools. Yes, you will have the understanding how to keep getting grants out using this tool, but you also now have a new way forward, we call it, in a new system that works for you. So I think that's going to be really critical for making this work. And great, I see. Okay, great, Marsha. You said your new teammate just entered. Let's see if I can. Oh, Makita, is that?
That's correct. Hi, how are
Makita,
you?
great. All right, good deal, Marsha. Good. And Makita, we were just giving team members their kudos for recognizing that Olivia, nor Marsha, nor myself, or any of us can do things alone. We definitely need to do things together to go further. And so thank you for jumping on and supporting Marsha in this effort. So ladies, that's my Coach's Corner for today, but it's really, again, a mindset shift for us to understand we can do things different. We can not snap back into old ways of moving our innovations forward. And as Rhonda said, we can, if we believe it, we can do it. And I, we got a faith-based group here, and I think we understand that there's so much more we can do from within that we can on our own. And so, having said that, that's my Coach's Corner for today. So I want to get right into our presentations and our thoughts. I do have Coach Watson on. I do have Dr. Kerner listening in from the panel. Let's see. And I don't have Mayor Robertson. Did we get Mayor Robertson on? Jade, did she respond? Let me just say that, check real quick on them before we get started, because I want to make sure. Watson, thanks for jumping on. Kim, I know you're on mute. Thanks for jumping on. Jade, if you could just text the mayor real quick and see if she's going to jump on. Go to the next slide and I'll explain to everyone what's happening. Okay, so this is your review team. So we've talked about getting to this point where we're able to get mini grants or obviously move forward to be one of the beneficiaries of the larger grant that we're doing in partnership with SGI and other licensees. Dr. Kerner is with Cal State Northridge. She's a social anthropologist. She's been an NRDC member for almost 3 years now, has studied grants and is one of our industry experts that's done extremely well. I think right now she's made over 400,000 as being included in grants, carrying out what she's an expert in, just working with MHM in that capacity as an industry expert. So thank you, Dr. Kerner, for being on board. Mayor Robertson is not on board yet. She is she's one of the founding NRDC members that has started her environmental sustainability business solutions platform and really heading up our E1 focus of our model, which I won't get into, but she's really listening from that ear of how technologies and innovation can also impact the environment, which she defined in a very broad sense, from use of cell phone, communication, transportation, it covers a gamut. So she'll be one of our listeners, I think, later today. Coach Watson's on the call. She's been one of our members from the beginning, not founding, but from day one, has been there before and helping me, coach me to a point where I've been able to stay focused on getting this to where we're at today. So thank you, Coach Watson. She has a life worth living coaching platform that has really been a background. All of you, I think, have had at least one coaching session with Coach Watson in order to help us, one, be mindful and clear on our priority passion project, and truly how to get on your mark, get set, and go, and not fall off of that mantra. How to stay consistent, how to stay aligned with your true purpose, and not deviate really to the left or the right. So she's helped me a lot with that. Coach Watson, thank you for jumping on for that. And as you're giving your presentations, next slide, I just want you to be mindful of a couple of things. And the things are that's not it, but I'm just share this real quick. You got your battle buddies. A session is going to be provided by your battle buddy and yourself, your team, and yourself as a founder, owner, or industry expert. So you get to define yourself, or you get to make sure the listeners know your role as a founder, owner, or an industry expert engaged to advance your business model or your priority passion project forward. These are called our showcase presentations. You will get comments from the panel. I am asking them to write them. We'll have our notes from the ChatGPT, Quantum, whatever this thing is, Phantom, and you'll also be able to have some Q&A for them if necessary. I do have a recording. We agreed last session, you guys agreed to let Pastor Wright do his session via recording due to his family. And he did have his partner himself do recording. So we'll probably start with that one. But so get that ready, Jade. But the next slide, I want to show you guys, here's the key things as you're presenting. And there's nothing like getting the last minute notes and being asked to do that. In the last one, come back to this. Go to the next one. I'll come back to that one. So the things I want you to remember, is one, you're the expert, right? So when you're doing when you're showcasing your priority passion project, you're the expert. And when you tell us what we need to know, only what we need to know, and when possible, remember our little secret sauce, use statistical significant data when possible. So we can throw out some facts, some numbers, do that when possible for battle buddies as well as my inner circle members. The second is you lead a team. So remember, this is not just you. Our whole together thing is not just a slogan, it's a reality. Funders like to fund teams. They do not like to fund single individuals, nor single individuals with a single mission project, right? So it's you, your battle buddy, your team. That's the narrative that would be best listened to. It's key for funders, get to know who you are, basically your applicant capability, you writing team telling us your character, your diligence, your hard work, all those things are adjectives that we're that we're listening for. Grant Funders Fund, that is it's up to you to showcase the need and the team addressing the need, right? So the fund, just kind of think of musicians play music, athletes play sports, grant funders fund. That's just what they do, right? It's just what they do, right? We have a fund. We just gonna have it's what is created to do. So it's up to you to showcase the need to be the recipient for you and your team to be the recipient of those funds based on your addressing a need, right? So just be mindful. Grant funders fund. This is what they do. Now you just got to figure out how to make them fund you. And then the last one is when funders look closer, and they will, let them hear real clear. I don't care how many times you have to say it, or or what mechanism you want to use, whether it's the tone of your voice, whether it goes from monotone to non-monotone, the planned impact is that you're going to make is really needed. Like, and when this happens, and when I am at market or in market, or when my program grows, or when I'm up and operational, when this thing is at level 2 or 3, whatever you want to say, this is what you will see. This is what people will experience. This is how it's going to impact the region, the community, the nation, right? That's the feel you want to make sure they hear and see when they look closer. So just keep those things in mind. I want to give you some nuggets before you do your presentation so that you can make sure I've given some guidance as to, or I can make sure I've given some guidance as to hopefully what we're going to be listening to. So now, Jay, go back and then we'll go to Pastor Wright's recording. So here's what's happening today. So here's kind of the good, exciting news. So you guys, today, the panel will recommend a mini grant to whoever's presenting, a $2,500 mini grant. That mini grant, so for hanging in here, for going through 5 weeks of getting on the call, staying diligent, following through, making things happen. And like I said, Rhonda, Jana, I don't know if Jana jumped on yet. Pastor Wright, we'll listen to his presentation. This is not the end. These opportunities will be consistent and persistent because this is how we think we keep you in a vertical space and pull you out of that entrepreneurial slow drive space, okay? So just know it's our mission to keep pulling. We already have our sign up for our next cohort, Inner Circle. So hey, this is where we make our decisions to stay in it to win. But anyway, $2,500 mini grant. That mini grant is a part of every grant that we give. This teaches us how we will work together. Public-private partnership. So we're going to create what's called a cooperative agreement. It's like, how do we work together to move this forward that benefits us both, right? So the small version of that, before we get to the large version of that, is to start getting us to understand what that looks like now. So this mini grant is just a model template of what we believe is the bigger template we're going to be using down the road. And so okay, he's recording limit. So the cooperative agreement will have 3 things, and it's typically based on our need, your need, collective need. So the first one is attending the ICSC in Vegas, and we'll cover the admission for you, your team, whoever the solutions team thinks should be there, right? And the goal of that is for us to secure some type of relationship, partnerships, solutions team member that can facilitate an agreement or contract, right? Agreement or federal contract. And I want to make sure I'm clear on that. When I say contract, it's always federal. Federal meaning local government, federal meaning any entity that's funded by tax dollars. Okay. So one, we will have a grant to get our team to the Las Vegas ICSC. We have a landing page. We'll show that in a second after our presentation, so everybody can get more information on that. Huge event. Everyone goes. It's probably 3,000-4,000 people there, And the second part is where it's more for you is that we're co-hosting our Inner Circle Showcase there, right? So this is where um, we'll have some other entities in the room that will facilitate and be a part of the larger grant that we're giving the 250. And like I think I told someone, we're trying to get it to where we can do 3. I don't know if that's going to happen, but our goal is to get a real movement of you guys being able to take your project PPP to another vertical level, right? So the goal also, while we're there, we've got a space room, and we will be showcasing not just yours, but there'll be some other businesses and innovations that will be talking about how they move their projects forward, looking to build their solutions teams, how to network and create partnerships still to go to another level. So there's that. And then there's the engaging of our product or engaging NRDC and product user members, which is basically the software users. So we're saying, hey, our target is still 5,025 users this year. So as part of the agreement, we're saying, hey, we're definitely willing to help you push this to a vertical, but we also want you to, in this agreement, you'll tell us, oh, great, what I can do is X, and we're not defining what that is yet, but that will be a part of the P3 agreement. And this is, again, the consistent model, right? For every cooperative agreement that we make, it'll have those 3. How do we grow your business? How do we grow our users? And then how do we grow together? So anyway, that's kind of the hopeful, not even hopeful, that's the exciting thing for today. We're excited about already having the space, already having the commitment. We did create a partnership with the ICSC, with you guys. When you go to their site, see it's huge. And we're just excited to be a part of that. Coach Watson will be there. Mayor Roberts is definitely going to be there. And we're anticipating some real key big funders to be there to facilitate our ability to go beyond just what we were originally committed to this group. So excited, hopefully you are. So I hope that is a preamble to your wanting to do amazing things tonight. And Rhonda, you and or Jana, if you want to still present and knock it out the park by yourself, that I am absolutely open to that. But I'm going to start, Jade, with Pastor Wright, since it was a recording. If you guys are okay with that, we'll start with his first, and then we'll go to Livia and then Marta. And then, well, I'm sorry, Rhonda, I'm sorry. If you want to go, we'll let you go first after Pastor Wright, and then we'll go Olivia, Marsha. So Rhonda, Olivia, Marsha. And Jana, if she gets on, I don't think she's off. So go ahead, Jade. Let's start with him. Let's give him a little hand clap. Woo-hoo. Come on, Pastor Wright. We want you to knock it out the park. Put him some claps in the chat so he'll be able to come back and read and see those and see. Oh, you are? Oh, this is okay. I thought he was here. So here's his Pastor Wright. You got to give him some love in the chat, even though he's, I'm going to try to. Yep, there we go. Thanks, Olivia. Get right. Okay, so we're going to start with Pastor Wright. And let's hear from his Hope Families Ministries, their goal, their vision, and what they're committed to do with their priority passion project.
My name is Clifford Wright. I am the president of Hope for Families Ministries. I first want to thank the SGI team for allowing me to present the project need for our Quarterback Daddy Huddle program. Growing up in South Central Los Angeles, I witnessed firsthand the impact and the effects of being raised by a single Black mother. The majority of my friends also were raised in a single family household. Our project need not only stems from our real life experiences growing up without our fathers, but nationwide statistics prove this as an enormous problem. Quarterback Daddy Huddle program was conceived and birthed because of these sad conditions within the Black and Brown communities. We have identified the crucial need for fathers to reconnect with their families and their children and bond with them. These sad conditions have led to mass incarceration, substandard living, poverty, divorce, substandard education, substance abuse, and shortened lifespans. I want to thank the SGI team again for allowing me to present our project need. God bless you and thank you.
Okay. And play the need, his partners.
Hello, my name is Clifford Wright. I am the president of Hope for Families Ministries. I first want to thank the SGI team.
Okay.
Compton.
And just
I am so grateful and well, hello, this is Pastor Dr. Calvin E. Creswell Sr. from Greater Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church of Compton. I am so grateful and just honored to speak a word on behalf of Quarterback Daddy Program and also Hope for Families Ministries. This is a partnership that our church, the Greater Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church of Compton, has formed with Quarterback Daddy. Specifically, we have worked with men who are in position to really affect their families. Men who oftentimes have been absentee fathers, fathers who have not been effective, fathers who have not seen or understood the proper need and importance of them being a part of their children's life. So the Quarterback Daddy program is something that I was introduced to by Brother Cliff Wright about 2 years ago at a function that we were having, and he came to the ministerial meeting we were having, and we began to really communicate. I got to understand what he was about, and of course, he got to understand what we were about at Greater Mount Sinai. And together, we formed what I feel is just a beautiful partnership. Since coming together, we have started doing events that have been life-changing. It's been an epiphany. It's just been a wonderful, friendly, very thoughtful type of program that has infused our men, the men that are part of our church, and also the men in our community. My church is located at, the address is 12317 South Wilmington Avenue. That's in Compton. That's in an area that's just on the edge of Compton going into the Willowbrook area. Willowbrook area or going right into Los Angeles. So we're right close to Martin Luther King. The area that we're located was considered a hotbed for violence and gang activity. So our church is full of men that really have been able to receive a lot from the Quarterback Daddy program. The theme that Cliff actually introduced was important of having the quarterback in the household, of course. And he talks about how the quarterback has to go and he has to come back into the pocket. And he comes back into the pocket where he can receive protection with the blockers around him. And then he has to either pass the ball off or he has to throw the ball to a receiver who has to catch the ball on the other end to run and score a touchdown. So Cliff really makes the importance of men understanding that it's imperative that they learn how to stay in that pocket, even if difficult times arise, even if they've made mistakes or been sacked in the past, how it's important to just stay in that pocket no matter what. Because when he's in that pocket, not only is he protected, but the entire family is protected. And so we have had so many events with this in mind and this theme. We've had what was called a healing section, where we have brothers had an opportunity to really listen to a format that was laid out by Cliff. And then we had a chance to really talk and to talk about our past and some of the issues that we've had. And then we've had guest speakers that have come in to actually hammer on that point at other events where they come in and they offer advice, their expertise which will assist. We've had counselors that have come in. We have people uh, who have programs that deal with men. We've had individuals that come in and assist with finding jobs. Uh, People come in and try to fight to get expungement of records because what we found out is that oftentimes these brothers have really the want to, but they really don't have the opportunity. They don't have the idea, the will, what it takes of how to get out of this area that they're stuck in. So instead, they run and flee. But with the programs and the connections that Cliff has, it gives the people a sense of hope. It lets them know that no, it doesn't have to stop, that they can do better. Now, since that has happened, we have brothers who are excited about coming to the Quarterback Daddy program. They want an opportunity. Number one, they want an opportunity to be able to share what's on their heart in a non-judgmental type of atmosphere. And that's what they had. They've had a session where they can share what's on their own. Instead of being critiqued or pushed down, they are actually received, and they share what they're secretly struggling with. Some of these times it is tearful as about their plight and their shortcomings, and they can get it out. But then not only do they get it out, they find out that they can do better. They're encouraged to go forward, and then also oftentimes phone numbers are exchanged. They're directed with mentors. They're directed with programs, and they understand that this is what God wants. God wants, He created man to be the head of the family, and He wants us to be the head. And this is what our people are doing. Also, the simple fact that after listening to other people's testimonials, they find out that, yeah, they made mistakes, but hey, the people are talking made mistakes too. So they learn how to be patient with themselves and how to develop themselves and how to realize that they can move on. And then we've had people at another event that Cliff had hosted, that he hosted. He had fathers and sons, and they talk about the problems that they've had. Cliff and his son was on the panel. Also, I was on the panel with my son, and we actually talked and we shared about some of the issues that we've had and some of the shortcomings that we had, and how important it was that we mended the relationship, and that at the same time we can go on from there. We've had people who have attended some of our events, and in the middle of the event, they have, we take a break, 5-10 minute break in between talking. And we had one individual, I remember specifically, he was in the meeting that we had. He excused himself. He had to step out. He went and got on his cell phone, and he confessed his shortcomings to his wife. He apologized, and he has said he's going to do much better. He came back. He was tearful. All the brothers got together. We laid hands on him, and we prayed for him. So I'm just excited about what the Quarterback Daddy program is all about. What it lets us know more than anything is that we are champions, that we all are victorious in Christ. One of my favorite scriptures is 1 John 5:4. It says, "For everyone born of God is victorious and overcomes the world." And this is our victory, that has conquered and overcome the world by our faith in Jesus, the Son of God. I believe that. I believe in my heart of heart that we are champions, we are victorious, and we have to walk in that vein. But we need some encouragement sometimes. We need someone to let us know that in all things that we are more than conquerors through Him that loved us. And this is what we push towards. This is what the Quarterback Daddy program is all about, is to continue to encourage man that you can go forward. And it makes no difference what your past has been. Your past does not constitute your present. In the present, God wants you to be blessed and be a blessing to others. So I am so excited about being a partner with the Quarterback Daddy programs, with the Hope for Family Ministries. I look forward to us doing wonderful things right there in Compton, in the neighborhood, in an area where people have done us like Nazareth. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Well, they say the same thing about Compton. Can anything good come out of Compton? And yes, we are bringing champions right out of the center of Compton. So I am grateful. I am appreciative of Brother Cliff and the Quarterback Daddy program. And I look forward to doing many wonderful things. I'm always available. I am from this area and I'm always around and I'm doing what I can to make a difference. And I'm just so glad that we have decided to join forces to make a difference. Thank you so much and may God bless you all.
Thank you, Jay, for sharing that. We'll thank Dr. Calvin and Pastor Cliff, and we'll give them a recording of this, you guys. I think Coach Watson and Dr. Turner, I don't know if Kim's on, we're going to hold comments to the end because I really want to just go from presentation to presentation to presentation, and then we'll get collective feedback. Again, the goal tonight is to be able to recommend who moves into our vertical so that we can begin to accelerate their business growth in ways that help us change the 1%. So next, Rhonda, we'll have you just jump right in. Go if you're ready to go and do your priority passion project. If you're doing both sections, let us know. If you're just going to do one now and then let someone do your applicant capability later, that's up to you. But let me know your thoughts.
Okay, I'm just going to go for it, just doing the one now, if I can. Okay.
Go for it.
Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Hi, my name is Rhonda Jackson, and first of all, I want to thank everyone for this wonderful opportunity to sit before you on today. But I am the owner and operator of Malili Salons in Crest Hill, Illinois. And I've been in business since 2000. The year 2000, I quit my job. I had a corporate job, and I left my job to pursue my passion in the business, in the salon business industry. And I went to cosmetology school, and I also completed my instructor's training in cosmetology school. And upon leaving my corporate job, I went into the salon industry only to find that there was a lot of people that knew how to do the craft. They were very good at the craft, but one thing that they lacked was the business part in the industry. And so I found myself, after working inside the salon, but then that's when I opened my own salon in 2003. I opened my own salon and I began to train and teach others on how to operate their business. And we had a 15-year run with at least a 7-year average retention in the salon. And so what I would need today is I would like to expand my business in the salon suite to where I could take these individuals from school and put them inside their own space where they can continue to create in their passion, but they will also learn how to do the business aspect of the industry, because that's one thing that they're not showing in cosmetology school. They're teaching us the craft, but they do not teach us how to run the business. But if you go inside these schools and you ask anybody, do you want to own your own salon? 99% of the hands will go up because everybody want to own the salon, but you cannot run a successful salon by just doing the craft. You have to know the business part of the business. And so my goal and my passion is to teach business. Most salons close within 5 years of opening because not because they're not doing a great job within their craft, but because they're not operating the business properly. And so my passion is to train these individuals in business, so not only would they be able to just work their craft, but they'll be able to own successful business. I want to teach them why they need a business account, how to open a business account, why the EIN number important, why is a business credit important. And so those are some of just the basic things that they will learn in this business thing in the business suites that I want to do, but they will also learn upon leaving this program, they will be able to successfully open their own salon as well.
Okay. Very good, Rhonda. Thank you for
Okay.
taking the risk. Thank you for jumping in and doing that. I think that's bold, which we always have to be bold in our ability to step up. Even when, I always tell myself, even when. So kudos to you for that. I wrote some things down. I'm not going to go into thoughts on the good and the enhancement thoughts, but thank you for doing that. So next up, did I say Olivia?
Yes.
Olivia,
Everyone.
and your battle buddy was
Naomi.
Naomi?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So you guys can tell us how it's going to flow, and we're listening.
All right, I will go first. Hi, everyone. My name is Olivia. I'm the founder of Peace Pulse, which is an AI-enabled mental health platform. And
I'm sorry, Olivia. I don't see you. Are you purposely off camera or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that. I will not be able to be on camera today.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
I'm sorry about that. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia. I'm the founder of Peace Pulse, which is an AI-enabled mental health platform. And I founded Peace Pulse after working at Kaiser Permanente as a product manager. I worked on their integrations team and realized that even though so many people had access to mental health, there was not enough resources to help them navigate their mental health issues. Post-pandemic, 1 in 3 adults now report symptoms of anxiety and depression, and that's a 400% increase from pre-pandemic levels. So people staying isolated post-pandemic and not having the right resources to navigate this increase these numbers. And we've also found that suicide is a leading cause of death for individuals between the ages of 10 to 34. And with Black men specifically, the rate of suicide is the leading cause of death. And I wanted to be part of the change. So I founded Peace Pulse after getting my first startup acquired, which was Skinship. And it was a dermatology solution, and realized that mental health really was in a free fall, and I wanted to be part of the solution to this. And we are here to change that. And with the funding, with funding issues in the tech space, we've realized, like you were talking about earlier, that certain individuals have more of an upper hand to be able to realize their solutions and be able to create the impact and change that is needed. I wanted to be part of that solution and be able, through this funding, I'll be able to create the right opportunities for the right people that deserve it and be able to change mental health for Black and Brown people.
Great. And I'll go ahead. Hi, everyone. My name is Naomi. I'm a tech entrepreneur, and please excuse my voice. I've come down with a little bit of a cold, but I definitely couldn't miss this. I'm so excited to join Olivia today and provide my support as she brings Peace Pulse to market. A little bit about my background. I've been in the tech industry for a little bit over a decade. After college, I scaled a digital marketing agency to over 30 creatives, providing services ranging from product development strategy to companies around the world and personal brand management for thought leaders and public figures, including managing the personal brand for former White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre up until she transitioned into the White House. It was that experience that exposed me to the gravity and weight of many social issues that impact Americans every single day, especially how mental health has impacted our country over the years. And as someone who is a big believer and advocate in increasing representation of women in technology, I also founded a tech company called Infinity Careers that helped job seekers discover careers that align with their passions. It was ranked top 20 at the Global Silicon Valley at Tech Summit. And eventually my startup was acquired by Stemli in 2023. I joined Stemuli shortly after to head up their digital department. It's like a full circle moment. I've increased the valuation of the company by 20 million since joining. I participate in research projects with the Gates Foundation and helped secure over $1 million in grants from the Gates Foundation as well. And also helped our team win an award for the United Nations AI for Good competition. So with that being said, I understand how expensive it is to build a product and maintain it, bring it to market, iterate it, pivot to meet the demands of the users. Then if you insert AI into that, I mean, AI is so expensive, and we raised $8 million alone this year to help integrate AI into our product. So that is so important. With Olivia, with Peace Pulse, what we're building is going to be expensive, going to take a lot of capital. There's a lot of things that we have to deal with as far as like legal protocols, cybersecurity protection. Mental health is a delicate industry. Innovation can be done, but it does require the capital and funding to do it. So to run a startup in this space, it requires a founder who has experience running end-to-end product development, someone who is immersed in the community, someone who is empathetic, someone who is fearless, knows how to iterate, lead a team, and get the job done. And Olivia embodies all of these characteristics and qualities plus more. She's proven her ability to build and scale a product with her startup Skinship. It created so much value that it was acquired. She's extremely involved in the community. I've seen it firsthand. I mean, she's very well connected, frequents all the top events, even events I can't get into, like the Milken Institute and stuff. She participates in events with like Deborah Lee, who's a former founder of BT for the Leading Women Define program. I was a guest speaker at an event that she hosted with her nonprofit, Live Bright, to provide mental health support for women's shelters here in the area. And I was able to witness firsthand like how passionate she was around creating impact in this space. And lastly, when Olivia first told me about what she was building next, after she's done all these amazing things in the tech industry, it deeply touched me. I had a close friend. Her name was Chesley Christ. She was Miss USA in 2019. She sadly lost her life to suicide in 2021. And everything that Olivia shared around the state of mental health in this country right now is so alarming. And it's so true, and it's happening to real people. The lack of investment and innovation in this space is even more alarming. So I cannot wait. The humans and our society cannot wait for Peace Pulse to come to market. And I hope that you all decide to become one of her stronger supporters. You'll be right here with me, cheering her along the way. Thank you.
Wow, excellent, excellent job, you two. I could feel that, so I'm gonna hold my comments as well again, but I appreciate what was said and how you guys shared that, and we're gonna move to the next presentation. But thank you both, Naomi. That was very well done. Marsha, you and Makita are up.
Hi. So I'm gonna go first, and then following me will be Makita. Am I able to share my screen? Because I have some visuals.
Jade?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay, perfect. Let me just get this all together. Okay, perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Dr. Marsha Evans, and I do a variety of things, but one of the biggest things that I do is I host wellness retreats for women all around the world. So just a little background into who I am, how I got here, and all the fun stuff, because it will make sense as to why I host these retreats. So as I mentioned, I am a retreat host. I'm a clinical psychologist with, I concentrated in forensic psychology. I'm a wellness connoisseur and a manifestation coach. Long story short, I have my doctorate in clinical psychology with a concentration in forensics, spent about 10 years working in the prison and court system throughout the country, worked my way up all the way to the bureau, did all that fun stuff, and then 2020 happened, and we know 2020, okay? Like 2020 was just 2020, and I experienced a lot of things that truly just affected my mental health. And I, as a psychologist, right, we tell people to do all these things, but sometimes we aren't our best teachers. So what I did was I went on a pretty intense healing journey. I did all the things, right? The yoga, the meditation, the sound healing, breath work, regular therapy, hypnotherapy, acupuncture. I did all the stuff, and I said, hold on, I feel better. I feel good. And what I really wanted to do after leaving my job and starting over was I wanted to bring this healing to women all over the world. So what I noticed and what is happening in our community as it relates to Black women is a lot of times there's a lot of depression, there's anxiety, there's worrying all the time, or they feel like they have to be the strong friend in the group, but not really knowing who to go to, or wanting more healing, wanting more peace, more happiness, feeling more grounded, more self-love, and all that fun stuff. And from a statistical standpoint, approximately 7.4% of the U.S. population is made up of Black women. And of that, Black women experience an increase in hypertension, obesity, diabetes, which all affect their quality of life. And in addition to that, as it relates to mental health, there's this higher levels of stress compared to other racial groups, which is nearly 60%, with nearly 60% experience chronic stress and burnout due to racial and gender-based discrimination, economic pressures, and familial obligations. And research also shows that 1 in 3 Black women will experience some sort of anxiety disorder in their lifetime. 25% will experience some sort of major depression, which is a significantly higher rate than the white counterparts. Yet we are only half as likely to receive mental health treatment due to the stigma, lack of cultural competence, and financial barriers. Despite all the statistics, the availability of comprehensive wellness resources, there just needs to be more resources for us. For Black women, it's extremely scarce. And the programs that are out there, they fail to integrate psychological, scientific, and holistic healing approaches, which is something that I offer at these wellness retreats all around the world. So without such spaces, many Black women will continue to navigate these challenges in isolation. Because one thing is for certain, the stigma when it comes to going through a lot, we're as Black women are just not talking about it, which then further exacerbates mental and physical health disparities. So investing in wellness programs that center Black women's life, lived experiences is not just beneficial, it is imperative. And by providing intentional spaces like what I do, such as what we do, such as wellness retreats, will help prioritize healing, self-discovery, empowerment, where we can create lasting change that enhances the quality of life, uplift communities, and foster generational well-being. All the pictures in this presentation are from previous retreats as well. So I've been backed by a variety of different brands, such as The Shade Room, for good things on social media, Voyage Miami, LA, Honey Pot, and Glacier. And the vision and mission is so much bigger than me. It's so much bigger. Like the biggest goal is to bring Black women together so they can heal, so they can laugh, so they can cry, so they can just feel safe in a community of like-minded people, where they don't feel like they have to where they feel like they can't actually let their hair down, where they don't have to sugarcoat or code switch or whatever the issues is that we kind of go through. So it is really for people that are ready to indulge in self-nourishing care activities, receive potent yet guided information, and of course learn transformational tools in their everyday life. So the vision and what we do at these retreats is a mix of a variety of different things. So There's sister circles, there's yoga, there's meditation, there's a variety of different workshops on inner child healing, mental health, manifestation, all the things. And of course, we also do a variety of different activities because we have gone to different places such as Bali, Mexico, Colombia, we're going to Ghana, Portugal, and all those things. So of course, when we go, we want to indulge in the culture, because another thing is Black women are wanting to travel, but they don't have friends to travel with. They're wanting more like-minded women and all that fun stuff. Anyway, so things that we have done and we will continue to do are horseback riding, hiking, beaches, all of that. There's like a private chef, there's a private driver, there's massages. There's usually like pools, jacuzzi, shared room, single rooms, saunas, gyms, like all the things. This is a previous workshop, for example, where we did like a gratitude workshop in the ocean. Mind you, these are all strangers from all over the world. In this group, there was someone from Africa, the UK, Turks and Caicos, Canada, and the US. So we are really trying to bring women together. We also do breath work. I am certified in breath work as well as hypnotherapy. So I bring that to the community, which is a unique stance. Not a lot of women are experiencing this, so women absolutely love that. And there's also somatic workshops, because as Black women, we hold in so much things. So we really try to dig deep into, can we address the traumas? What is actually happening during our life where we can actually work through whatever is going on with us? And we also do a vision board party, because that's just my jam. And I love vision boards, and people that come love vision boards as well. Can you hear?
You're going to grow immensely. I came here with strangers, and I'll be living with what seems like girlfriends now. It's been absolutely amazing. It is life-changing. You may not be able to fully explain what it is you feel, but you will feel a major shift.
So that is just some reviews.
I love everything about this trip. From the food, the people, the location, the experience, everything. I've had the most amazing experience of my life. Everything that I thought the trip would be was that, and having the space to be vulnerable, having the space to cry if I need to, and then just connect with other women, like-minded women. Whatever you need, this is the place to be. You will not regret it. I promise you.
Okay, and then there's other written reviews, but I don't want to take too much time up. But this is just a gist of what we're doing, and traveling retreats, they're very pricey. Usually our retreats include everything in the price, and from the private driver, the chef, all of that, getting different facilitators. Everything is very pricey, and there's just such a huge vision in my brain, in my mind, and I know this can be very, very big, but of course funding is sometimes a little bit more challenging. But thank you so much for listening through and having me. I greatly appreciate this, and thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Makita. I'm going to have to be off camera today. I have known Marsha for many years and have had a front row seat to her evolution as both an individual and as a business owner. I am a customer-centric strategist and project manager who joined the Nourish and Flourish team because of our shared purpose in platforming and advocating for health and wellness, and our commitment to collective healing within community. While we are an all hands on deck team, doing the work to ensure our attendees feel supported from start to finish is something I truly enjoy. And truly being able to leverage those experiences to further cultivate community digitally is a huge plus, especially with my work in digital space, digital advertising, just seeing how we can magnify those experiences, and some of which Marsha has shared earlier, digitally, and expanding that community is such an awesome piece of the work. I've just seen what we've been able to do with the resources currently available to us, and I'm just so excited to see what we can accomplish with continued investment. So again, I'm grateful to be here, and thank you for your time today.
That Excellent. Great job, Marsha. Great job, Makita. You guys, I and Coach Watson, I am going to let Coach Mayor Robertson have to listen to these videos and comments. And I think you guys, I'm going to ask everybody to jump back on next Sunday to announce who's going to be our selection. Because there's a couple of things going through my mind. I'm going to share this because I think, and Rhonda, I see your team member jumped on. Darylyn, thanks for jumping on. There's some amazing things happening right now. And Naomi kind of with her Arroyo, what was it? The Borealis, is that what it's called? The and then your background, the Arroyo Boreal.
Aurora.
Yeah. And it's funny, I use that a lot as an analogy when I tell people about the mystery behind all that is, right? Because sometimes we don't know where that energy comes from, where that even, begins or ends. And when I'm listening to the possibilities of what's happening, Marsha, what you're offering can be industrialized across sectors in ways that I get excited thinking about. And then Naomi, the fact that you're on Olivia's team and you guys bring this synergy of having done this before, bringing products to market and getting them sold and doing it again. And then Rhonda, I'm telling you, even though you stepped out in a space where you were like, I'm not sure about this, but let me just try to step up to the bat and swing, right? And then bringing your partner on just when it can. We are all in a space, guys, where we're creating something that's never been done before with just us. I'm telling you right now. And you were selected for such a time as this, so it creates excitement for me. I say that as a preamble to this statement. When even though this is only for 2,500, and then there's 250,000 that one of us will do, or how many we're going to do that for. I need us to step up and act as if it's 2.5 million, 5 million every single time, right? Because what you do for this 2,500, in my mind, is very indicative of what you might do when there's 250 on the line, when there's 1 million on the line, when there's 2 million on the line. And I know, like I tell us all the time, things happen in life, right? We can be on camera, not be on camera. People can show up on our team, not show up on our team. We can have our script ready or not. Those things are consistently challenges that we're going to face just because life happens. What I want us to commit to in this inner circle, as we are selected to be in this space and move your product to the next level, which we will help make happen, I want us to show up. I want us to show up in ways that we've never shown up before. And even when, my favorite line, even when it's $2,000 today, $2 million tomorrow, I don't know the difference. And I don't, because you show up every single time as if this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm taking to market, this is what I'm making happen, and I am showing up. And so I just both sides of the fence. Some great things are happening in one vein, some things that we got to tighten up to make sure we can be honest with each other in this inner circle. We can be candid, we can reveal, we can be vulnerable. We can get some coaching from Marsha on how to be vulnerable and heal and be great at what we're doing. But at the same time, we can all rest assured that we've been called to this moment. So, Coach Watson, I know I asked you to be on. I asked you to get some comments because Mayor Robertson did not get on. And I think Kim, I don't see her even on now. I'm going to let them have to listen. And we did videotape, we did record, be able to listen to this in their independent spaces and give me their recommendations. And if I don't send a notice out to everyone before as to who we're going to take with us to Vegas and put us in your next vertical by Wednesday of next week, which I'm hoping to get them to listen to it by then, because I want next week to be about getting your grants out the door, the full grants and everything. But if I don't do it by then, we'll make an announcement on Wednesday. We'll celebrate the entity or entities selected, and we'll go from there. But I just want to say thank you guys for showing up. Naomi, you and Makita, I think it's huge that you guys were able to say, you know what, no matter what time it is, I'm showing up for my girl, right? Darylyn, I'm not sure what Rhonda said, but you showed up, right? There's some things that happened, got it, get it, but you showed up. So again, you guys, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a part of this effort for me to change 1%, but for you guys showing up, but always show up at your best. Next slide real quick. I want to just share with you, Jade, or with the team, the ICS on our website, what we've kind of created for the inner circle to showcase for the 250. And you guys, believe me, we're working hard to make that number grow. We really want you guys to be on a space where, you know, tears are flowing and, and businesses are growing. And let me start rapping a little bit. But anyway, I want this to really be a space where we get excited about stuff. If you can bring that slide up on our page, Jade, that's great. If not, go back to the slide deck, and I think I have some information on that. The next slide, I think I put it on there. I think I had next. Okay, that was going to be my announcement of who won. Our coaches, my panel didn't all get on, and I didn't put it on there. So let's just, can you go to our website, Jade, real quick? Ladies, it's 9:21. I'm 20 minutes over. Everybody knows where our website is. I think what do we call it, Jade, on our website? Inner Circle something Vegas. Is Jade still there? Jade, what do we call it? Oh, she's pulling it up.
E3P3 Showcase Las Vegas.
Okay, so this is our inner circle, or for our inner circle group only. We have other entities coming. 56 days away. If you scroll down, you'll see where we have commitments from different entities that will be in the room specifically to hear and be a part of our selection of our vertical integration business that we're going to take to the next level. So you have obviously SGI, the Homing Capital's huge funder. Time for Change is one of our clients that's committed resources to advance Black women only. She runs the Black and Brown Opportunity Center. CC for C's Cultural Change. Anyway, we got some people. We got more people coming. We have some key speakers that'll bring people to hear you. My goal and my responsibility is to make sure when we show up, right? That I can say this is my inner circle team or representative of our circle that we selected from whatever process we've done over the last 5 weeks, and here's who we are showcasing in this space to be able to move forward on our vertical. So go to that link, you guys. We are the agenda's there, all the things we're gonna have happen. That's gonna be condensed. Your mini grant for that one selected, you'll be able to obviously receive funding to support getting there, bringing your team, doing the things we need to do. But we want you to be there and show up. I'm gonna let you guys go. If you have any comments, I know this was one of those meetings where you didn't get to say a lot outside about your project, but still we're gonna have office hours on Wednesday. So if you have any questions, jump on that. If I don't send a notice out on Wednesday on who we've selected, I definitely will do it next Sunday. So please show up next Sunday, because that will be our last day of our 5-week/6-week session. We'll make announcements if it hasn't been done. We'll get our grants out the door, and we will close this session of our 5-week inner circle next week. Thanks for showing up, everyone. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give yourselves a hand too. I think we did a great job today. I should have told everybody to clap for everyone. You guys did some good stuff today. All right. Hey, we're good. Bye, Rhonda. See you waving.
Okay.